What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, Twitch? What's up, twitch.tv/The Trident Network? I got mesmerized by, well, this is, sorry for everyone on a podcast. I got mesmerized by my dancing at the top there, watching my hair fly around and then snap back into place. Pretty cool. Love my hair. Not the only thing I love, though. I also love improv. I am Trent Dozier, host of the show you are watching. I love improv with Trent Dozier. What's up, everybody? Hey! If you're tuning in live on twitch.tv/The Trident Network right now, thank you for joining us. Show yourself some love in the chat right now to get us going. That'd be great. If you're joining us in the future, listening to this in a podcast version, thanks for tuning in. Happy to have you whatever way you're consuming this. Hopefully you love improv like all of us do. And speaking of all of us, before we get into our wonderful guest for this week, first, you know her, you love her, we got to introduce her. She is the technical support, the backbone of this friggin' show, of this whole friggin' network. Everybody say what's up in the chat right now to Val Agnew. What's up, Val?
What's up, Trent?
I don't know what compelled me. Normally, I feel like I go high introducing you, and I went real low.
Yeah, and I, like I always do, matched you. How did it work for you?
Yes, and baby, it worked great. I loved it. How you doing, Val?
I'm great. I'm so excited that I get to hang out with you 2 times in 1 week.
Hey, yes. Well, speaking of Val, speaking of her and I hanging out, speaking of the Trident Network, I rarely cross-pollinate, so to speak, but the other podcast that I do on this network that I am a part of, the Tournament Podcast, we just celebrated our 100th episode. Of course, I co-host that with former guest of this podcast and composer of the theme song for the show, Nia D'Amelio. We just celebrated our 100th episode, as I said, which is like crazy. And we had a special guest, and it was Val Agnew. What's up, Val?
What's up, Trent?
So that was a lot of fun. If you're hanging around looking for something to listen to, go check that out. We did awards for all the past tournaments that we've done over the last year and a half. Crazy. And of course, the previous episode of this show was our 1-year anniversary. So like, it's popping off for me over at the Trident Network right now. I hope everybody's having a good time. I know I am.
Milestones everywhere.
Yeah. Speaking of the Trident Network, of course, you're tuned in on Twitch right now if you're watching live. I Love Improv is not the only show that streams on the Trident Network's Twitch channel. Also join us Mondays and Tuesdays. We know Mondays we have Stupid Games, Stupid Prizes running right now, and Bitcherton. It's a 2-for-1 if you tune in Mondays on the Trident Network. Of course, you can hit the purple subscribe button somewhere down here-ish. Or something like that. And you can subscribe to our Twitch. You'll be alerted anytime that the Trident Network is going live on Twitch. You can tune in for those things, the consistent shows, and also the special events. And Val, we have a special event coming up next Wednesday, August 3rd. So that's next Wednesday or this Wednesday if you're listening to it on a podcast. August 3rd, the podcast Inconceivable is doing a special live event. Val, can you tell us a little bit more about the Inconceivable live event?
Yes. So as season 1 comes to a close, we are having a live stream event with the podcast creator as well as 2 of her stars, and they're going to do a reading of one of the episodes. They're going to do a little bit of a discussion about the show and how it came to be, and then they're going to take some questions from the chat.
Wow. Sounds like fun.
It should be fun.
So everybody tune in on next Wednesday or this Wednesday, depending on, as I said, what medium you're taking it in through. But it is August 3rd. Tune in for that. And that's Trident Network, baby. We're always chugging along. We love it. There's a lot of great stuff always. Follow the Trident Network for more information on everything. Become a patron. All these things are great. But now it's time for the main event. It's time for why everyone's tuned in. It's time for some improv. That sound good to you, Val?
Oh, yeah.
All right. This week's guest is someone who, as I was reminiscing today, came to the realization that I have known for a decade, which is, I can't even really wrap my head around it. It's crazy. I've known them since they were like 17 or 18. We first met at Made Up Theater in Fremont, California, all those years ago. It's Fremont's favorite child. Everybody, if you're in the chat right now, please show some love. Say what's up to this week's guest, Justin Embrey.
Ooh,
What's up,
what an
Justin?
intro. Thank you, Trent. Not much. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, just reminiscing about those made-up theater days.
Those Made Up Theater days. Just a couple of kids in class trying to have some fun.
Exactly.
Justin, a literal teenager in those classes. And holding your own.
Ooh,
better than a lot of the adults at Improv.
Wow. No, you're too kind.
What were
I was going to mention this in the pre-show that you moved to like Chicago when you were like 25-ish, and I remember thinking, I was like, oh man, like what will I be doing at 25? And now I'm 27, but we live in the same city again, so I guess that's progress.
Well,
close enough.
It is funny. Just a brief backstory for all the listeners, and then we'll jump into it. I have followed Justin literally around the country. Wherever Justin goes, I goes. Justin started, when did you start at Made Up Theater? Maybe 2010?
When I was 16, yeah, so 2011 probably.
So about a year or two later, that's when I started at Made Up Theater. And then Justin moved from Fremont to Chicago to study at Columbia. And then I moved to study at IO in Second City, similar moves. And Justin, he and I had our time crossover in Chicago for a couple of years, and it was great. And then Justin moved to LA, and then a couple of years later, the pandemic happened, and then I moved to LA. I'm just, always out here looking for Justin, and I found you once again.
Exactly. Yeah, we have crossed our paths once more.
Yes,
and they can. No, go ahead.
No, please.
I was going to say they can dig through the our SoundCloud archives for episodes of Watch This with Justin and Trent. I didn't delete them. I just didn't log back in.
Yeah, that's true. Justin and I used to host a podcast very, very briefly. Very briefly.
Yeah, and podcast is a strong word, but
yeah, podcast is a strong word. Host is a strong word. As Justin said, you can go to SoundCloud and check out old episodes of Watch This with Justin and Trent, where I would force Justin to watch old wrestling matches, and Justin would force me to watch F1 races live.
Yeah,
it didn't last. Here we are now, though.
Exactly.
We've grown our best lives. Yeah.
Exactly. It's informed us as artists. Yeah.
I think so. Look at us now.
Exactly.
Thriving in the
loving
sun.
Improv.
Back in California. Always loving improv. Well, speaking of loving improv, Justin, are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready to get into it. Let's do it.
Ooh, baby. Okay. Justin and I, as I've mentioned, are about to do some improv for everybody tuning in live on Twitch right now or listening in the future on the podcast. If you are a frequent listener and or viewer, you'll know the spiel I'm about to give. But if this is your first time tuning in, visually or audially, yeah, whatever, auditorially, whatever, via your ears. Thank you. But this is what we're going to do. We need a suggestion to do our scene. And of course, all suggestions are good suggestions. But here at I Love Improv with Trent Dozier, we like to get a very specific style of suggestion. We want something longer, meatier, heartier, something for us to be able to dig into immediately, so to speak. So, for example, if the suggestion you were thinking about giving was paperclip, switch that up and maybe make the suggestion Trent and Justin work in the same office, and Trent is Justin's boss, but they're also secretly having an affair together, and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do for dinner tonight. Something like that. Something, give us some meat on the bone. You know what I'm talking about. You all love improv too. That's why you're here. Now, if you've never seen Justin improvise before, you might not know what type of scene you want to see Justin do. So perhaps what I'm about to do right now might inform the suggestion you'd like to give. Of course, if you have a suggestion locked and loaded already, feel free to throw that into the chat right now. If not, I'm about to tell Justin what I love about him as an improviser, what I think he does well, what makes me laugh, and maybe that will inform the suggestion you want to give. So, Justin, are you ready to receive compliments?
I am ready to receive compliments. Thank you, Trent.
Great. First of all, like I said, I've known you since you were but a teen, and off stage, as a human being, and I think this bleeds on stage for you a lot, but off stage as a human being, from the time you were 27 now to when you were 17, way back when, I have always liked you because you are a good human being. You are like a pure-hearted person who always wants the best for yourself and for everyone around you. This is why I think you're such a great teammate, someone to work with, because you like to make sure you're picking everybody up. And especially, in improv, that's a super important trait to have. And I think you've got that in spades. And yeah, on stage, obviously it translates in that way, you helping out with your scene partners and stuff. As a player, your energy is oftentimes unmatched. I think you're like a little tornado in the best possible way. I think a lot of times your energy is always there, but the way you direct it is unexpected in the best ways. It always, I always, when I'm watching you do improv, I always feel like I so clearly see where it's going, and then at the last second, you as the character does something where I'm not expecting it, and it's so fun for me to get to watch that as an audience member. It's even more fun for me to handle that as your teammate or someone playing with you, because it's so fun to the best moments in improv are those genuine like shockers where you're like, oh, I thought, oh, okay, this is the other thing, and then trying to figure out in those worlds. And like, I was telling you this in the pre-show, of course, and I've mentioned this on previous episodes before, but I like to have people on the show who I think are, one, good improvisers, and two, improvisers who I trust. And you are someone who I explicitly trust on stage and off. And yeah, man, you're just like, you're a blast to play with. I think everybody, if you've never seen or heard Justin do improv, you're going to see that infectious fun. That's the best way to put it. I'll end there. Once I start to ramble, I'll cut it off. Justin, was that all too kind to you? Right on the nose? What are we thinking?
No, that was perfect. Yeah, you're very good at giving compliments. No, thank you so much. Yeah. I'm just gonna accept it. I'm very good at nitpicking compliments. So no, thank you so much. That was lovely.
Good, great. Well, I'm glad. There's there's two rules on the show. One, you have to love improv. Two, no nitpicking. So perfect. You're following both the rules. Great. Val, do we have any suggestions? Or I should say, if you're in the chat now and you're waiting for me to finish complimenting Justin, please throw your suggestions into the chat now. We'll let those roll in a little bit. Val, how we looking?
Well, we just got one from Naya D'Amelio.
Heard of her.
So we can take that one if you are so inclined.
You know what? We haven't had a Nia suggestion in like a couple months, many episodes, and Nia knows both of us very well. Let's take it, Val.
All right, let's do it. Okay, Justin and Trent work at an office, and it's the end of the quarter. They're working late, and they're the only two in the office.
Okay. Now, before we start, I just realized that my air conditioning has been on this whole time. So if you're in a podcast, there's not going to be a pause. You're just going to hear it go right into the scene. But if you're watching live on Twitch, give me 3 seconds. I have to turn off the AC, and then Justin and I are going to do some improv.
Deal.
So Justin, what do you think so far?
Oh no, this is great. I'm loving this. I love improv.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. I'm back.
Right.
That wasn't even 3 seconds. Good.
Well, it
good
sounds
job.
like you guys were talking too, so I'll just leave all that in.
Yeah, we were.
No dead air.
I love improv, but I also love to be cool. You know what I mean? All right. Nia, thank you for the suggestion. Val, thank you for everything. Justin, let's do some improv.
Okay.
Looks good.
Have you seen these numbers?
I see.
I'm not.
What spreadsheet are you on?
I'm on December of last year.
Oh, the last. Okay, give me a second. I gotta get. Is that a song? Is that a song?
Shun.
Does that sound
No,
familiar?
like
Okay.
like I'm sure like that's in a song, but is that a song?
Yeah. I mean, it's stuck in
It's
my
gotta
head, so
be.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
what am I looking at specifically here?
Okay. It doesn't add up. I don't think
So
I don't
what?
think we're making any money.
What's
Right? Like it doesn't add up. Have we not been
if it didn't add up, we would still either
right
show like not adding up is more of a sign of potential theft. Am I wrong?
No, I see. My mind went to the same place. Was fraud.
Oh,
securities fraud.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, but right, like this.
Are you only seeing it in this spreadsheet from last year?
Oh, well, no.
Oh, it's in more.
Well, here I can fax it to you.
Yeah, fax it
Yeah,
over.
yeah, because I got it right here.
Great, yeah.
So
let
me let me know when you get that.
Are you sure you don't know that song? You hear me doing it, like bounces
Is
down.
it like shamanama, like shamai?
No. I don't think like any shamanas
Like
are in the words are not like that. It's not like my Sharona or anything. No.
Great.
So it could be any like ba 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 ba. It's more about the beat. You know, I just had the shamana. Oh, here we go. It's coming through.
Great. Oh yeah. Like let the ink dry. Perfect.
Oh my god.
Okay. Because right when you see it, and right, have we not been solvent since December?
Okay. So the back half of this fiscal year then has been, if these numbers are right, like we're dead.
Yeah,
we're done.
Oh, so like, I mean, what are we even doing here? It's like 11:45, man.
I'm not a Judas Priest fan, but I feel like it might be a Judas Priest song.
The like descending scale.
I don't know why I got Judas
Priesty
Priest stuck in my head. I just like if I don't figure this out, I'm not going to be able to figure out the financial strife we're potentially in right now. And let me try and Shazam myself here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not reading.
4. No? Okay.
No. Well, have you ever tried to Shazam your own voice? I feel like it only recognizes.
I haven't. That's why I was surprised at that.
It only every time I try to do this, it never works. It only works when it hears an actual song, not my rendition of it. Like, sorry, I don't sound like Ariana Grande or whoever sings this song.
Sorry, I don't remember like all the words, but
that's why I'm Shazamming it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna produce the results I want. It's okay. Well, okay, we got
Radiohead. It could be Radiohead.
Radiohead.
Do you think it's a Radiohead song?
Well, I don't really listen to Radiohead. That's why my Judas Priest thought is so weird too, because I don't listen to them either. I don't know what I'm doing. Here. Okay, I'm gonna try and refocus on this and not worry about that.
Cleansing spin.
Okay. Can you fax over then the other July through December of last year?
July 3rd. Yeah.
Well, I guess you don't need to send December again. I have it here now.
Oh, okay. So we'll hold that. Yeah. Okay. No.
This wouldn't be a Colby Calais song, would it?
Oh no, that's acoustic guitar. This doesn't sound like acoustic guitar to me.
Yeah, no, you're right. It sounds more metal for sure.
Oh yeah, wait. Oh no, the banana. No, do it with the B again.
Do it with the B.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I think I've got it.
Okay.
It's that new Minions promotional song that they're doing for
That's
Minions.
What it is.
Yeah. Minions
That's
can't
what
stop
it
the
is.
beat. That's what I. Okay, thank you.
Minions can't stop. The beat.
I thought you were gonna say, "Oh no, you're crazy." Yeah.
No, that's exactly what it is. Minions can't stop the beat. Yeah. The family that shares the wall to my apartment, you know, they've got a kid in high school right now, and all I hear all day is the little freaking TikToks that he's listening to all the time. And these guys love the Minions or whatever, you know. You're seeing these teens walking around
shifting
in suits
with
all
the
time.
Minions.
Yeah. So now I can't sleep because my freaking headboard's up against this wall where this kid's just watching TikTok till 4:30 in the morning. That's probably why I fucked up the financials, because of this kid.
Oh,
the Minions are literally ruining my life. If I saw a Minion, I'd punch it in the face.
Easy.
And now I probably will, because I'm going to be kicked out of my apartment. I'm going to be living on the streets over by Universal Studios. So I'm going to walk up right to that giant Minion and slap the Minion in the face. You ruined my life, Steve Carell. God damn it.
Hey, it's not all lost. We can fix it, right? Like, it's a spreadsheet. We can edit the spreadsheet.
Well, if we editing the spreadsheet if the spreadsheet is accurate and we change the spreadsheet, then we're not really editing the spreadsheet. We're hiding potential horrible losses and damages.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. Which would, by extension, be saving, right, thousands of jobs all across the country.
Yeah, maybe even millions. I don't know how many people.
I don't know what we do. Yeah.
What did you just say?
I don't. Well, like, I know what I do, but what do we do? Like, we don't make anything, do we?
We don't make anything.
Right?
Is that? Yeah, we don't make anything. We're the accountants.
Yeah. Right. But like, as a company, as you know, as Buford Incorporated, what do we do?
Stocks.
Okay.
Bonds,
investments,
money, investment, power, bank. I think words like that are stuff I hear.
Yeah.
Synergy, corporate synergy, stuff like that.
I've seen those words in the lobby. You're right on that. Okay. But but how do we? I mean, other than sweeping apparently months of financial fraud under the rug, what do we do exactly?
Like, why does the company, what the hell?
Need us?
Stocks isn't a thing. Like, it's a thing, but that's not a job, right?
Like, yeah, it's not like a product, right?
Like, I can't just say stocks.
Yes. Right? Because remember, we talked about this, because we both tried to put stocks in the Tinder bios, and that didn't work.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Wow. What in the hell?
We still didn't crack that one. We still didn't figure out why it didn't work, but we'll come back.
Well, that's something to do with the Tinder algorithm, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or the fact that stocks isn't a job, so they were like, you can't put stocks there. What in the hell's going on? I'm so confused right now.
I can put stocks in my phone. That's somewhere you can put stocks.
Yeah, but you could put anything in your phone. You could put you can do a math problem on your calculator, or check Twitter, or order DoorDash, or see what's up on your email.
Listen to a podcast.
Watch a live stream.
Who knows?
Watch Twitch. I don't know. Stream on Twitch on your phone. I don't know. Wait.
Hmm.
I thought I was the only accountant here.
Wait, I didn't. You're also an accountant?
Yeah.
See, because I thought you were from accounts, right? And I was in accounting.
No. I'm
Oh,
I'm the accountant.
you're the accountant. Am I just in accounting? Oh,
I don't think I should be here.
that's true. No one is like, hey, see you tomorrow. Right? Like, no, like we come to work, right? But no one acknowledges our
No
presence.
one is. I've only ever seen you.
Exactly. I've only ever
seen you and the minion working the front desk.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. A minion works at the front desk?
I didn't even put that together. I only have your fax number. No one else in this building has a fax.
I know. That's why when you said you would fax me over the information, I was like, that's weird. Usually I just get an email, but then there was this fax machine here.
Mm-hmm. And the fax machine wasn't there yesterday, was it?
No. How'd you know? How'd you know that? Why are you... Okay, let me ask you a question.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How come you haven't mentioned the minion running the front desk before?
Because I didn't think about it till right now that there's a minion running the front desk. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why are you wearing overalls, gloves, and you only have one eye with a goggle over it?
Banana?
Are you a minion?
No, hey, what we're just throwing around minion accusations willy-nilly like that? Come on.
You have yellow skin.
We're accounting.
You have yellow skin. You're
All
3
right.
feet tall.
Yeah.
Your name is Bob. And as far as I can remember, until today, you never spoke this eloquently. I'll fax it over if that's what you want. Okay. Are the minions trying to incept me? I can't tell if that's if you're on my... You want me to come with you? Okay. You want me to go down? Okay.
What is happening?
What the hell? What was that? Oh my God, I can hear them crawling on the ceiling.
No.
But that's a bunch of
banana.
No. No. No.
Banana.
Banana. Banana.
Banana.
Banana. Banana. Banana.
Banana na na na.
Banana na na.
Banana na.
Banana na. Banana na. Banana. Banana.
Banana.
Banana. Okay, that's the scene. Wow, if you're listening on a podcast, the last minute of that's going to be so confusing. Justin brought out a literal bushel of bananas and then started eating them at the end there.
There's a whole banana in his mouth right now.
Yeah,
it was impressive.
If you're wondering why I got real quiet there. 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That was
Go ahead, Val.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like, oh, please, Val, go. You go.
no.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, like, I loved that you committed to the gibberish. Like,
Yeah.
it was so fun. I was like, is he gonna do it? He's doing it. And you could have also like reneged so easily, and you didn't. Which
Yeah.
I loved.
Yeah, I feel like I love going to like a surrealist place and like a meta place. And I feel like more often than not, like 9 times out of 10, I'm more venturing into meta stuff, and only 1 time out of 10 we get to do like weird surrealism type of stuff, like that back half of this scene ended up being pretty much. And I love it, and I wish I did it more. And like, you know, Justin is exactly the type of player who I not only feel comfortable doing that with, but he's someone who is like not afraid to charge head first into that also, which, you know, is evidenced there by the bananas and whatnot. And now I'm mad that I wasn't wearing my world famous banana shirt. I'm wearing watermelons, wearing watermelons like a doof. Unbelievable. but yeah, it was really like in my mind, I had a thought somewhere in there where I was like, oh, I think this is a dream for me. And I was glad that Justin yes-anded that. Just kept heightening it.
Yeah. No, I like, I don't know. I what I like about you, I'm sure that I'm the first to do that. No, is that like, yeah, you're always game for whatever I'm willing to throw out there, or right, like if it's gonna be a, you know, crazy Minions subconscious realization, you know, you're down for it. Also, gibberish, a mainstay of made up theater, a classic made up theater move is just default to gibberish for a bit. You don't have to figure out what you mean.
Oh, bashkabada.
Yeah. Real mutt heads know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All the real mutt heads know what's up. Yes, of course. If you're in the Bay Area and you ever have a chance, please go to Made Up Theater. We have had guests from there in the past. Justin is also an alumni of that theater, just like I am. He was a student there, then became a performer, and you've taught there also, right?
I've taught, sketch, improv, all sorts of stuff.
And of course, if you ever go to Made Up Theater, you'll see the honorary Justin Embrey tech booth. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
Justin, a master in front of the camera and behind. That was the wrong metaphor, but yeah, once I started saying it, you understand what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, I got you.
Yeah, that was really fun. Like I said, really weird and surreal. And now, just like looking back, I almost wish, like, obviously we didn't shy away from it. And like something that you won't see on a podcast is we not only did Justin bring out the bananas, but we were like ducking under the screen and stuff, and Justin was kind of running around like being other minions in this hellscape or whatever. And I almost wish, like, now looking back, 2 minutes removed or whatever, now looking back, I'm almost like, wow, I wish we would have, because of this medium that we're in, this non-on stage improv medium, like, would have been really interesting. We could have made some even wackier choices to heighten the dreamscape or the surrealism of it, which is a long-winded way of leading me to my question for you, Justin. How much online improv have you done or did during the pandemic or anything?
I would say a little bit.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you're familiar, but yeah, Made Up Theater did a monthly Zoom improv show.
Yeah, that's right.
I did like right as the pandemic started. Michael Lewis, another mutual friend of ours, was in Bakersfield doing improv.
Yes.
Invited me on some like early, Zoom improv things. But I'd say like, maybe more than 5 times, less than 10.
Yeah.
So, enough to have some experience. But I also, want to kind of think outside the box. I love playing with levels in person and remotely. And just like, what can we do to break the format?
That was one thing too that I thought, I thought Made Up Theater did a really good job of, because, the core 4 plays this way also, but I feel like they did a really good job of instilling within the students, like, improv is more than just standing around and being funny, right? You
Totally.
can play, I think we talked about this a few episodes ago, but like it's hard for silence to necessarily translate through the podcast improv medium,
Mhm.
but otherwise, like silence is a tool, using your space is a tool, not just staying in one spot. And like I don't know about you, Justin. I feel like I do know the answer to this, but like I felt like that was really instilled in me there and Made Up Theater, and made me a better a better improviser everywhere else that I went and played that wasn't Made Up Theater, because that's not necessarily a physical style, isn't necessarily what everybody does or is even comfortable with.
Yes.
And honestly, I think even without Made Up Theater, you and I are both pretty physical players anyway. But it felt like they, at a young age, gave me permission to
Mhm.
follow my gut in that way, follow my instincts in that way. What do you think? Was that them giving you permission too, or were you like, did you not even think about it before and you're like, oh, I see what they're doing, I can do that too?
I think a little bit of both. I think that like definitely gave me permission, right? Definitely gave me the leeway to try stuff and fail and
Yeah.
just keep trying, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I also think like gave us the environment. I'm gonna get real inside baseball, but yeah, the old Made Up Theater space was
Yes.
built like a rock. Like that
Yes.
thing was solid, and so I would just throw myself off the balcony and climb
Yeah.
through windows and use the trap door and stuff like that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think like giving me the environment to be able to play, which again, right, like privileged in situation, all sorts of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, totally. That just being given the permission to do that early on is amazing. Thank you.
It is amazing, and I do feel like it translates to you as an improviser currently, and I definitely feel like I was saying, it translated to this now, like those the instincts that were instilled in us 5 or 10 years ago when we were at Made Up Theater, I feel like has shown through here, because now doing online improv, there are some people who are very much just like, okay, I gotta
Yeah,
stay in this box and do
rule of
what's up.
thirds.
Yeah. But it feels like, because I was comfortable having movement, on stage in front of an audience, that I'm more than comfortable, like, play with levels, like you said, or mess around with what's going on, or use props using the paper. Yeah, that was something that
I
doesn't
still got to
usually
finish this
happen too.
banana.
Yeah, the bananas. That was a good move too. When you brought out the paper, I was like, that's right, I literally have a desk full of crap here that I can use.
I picked it up and I was like, no, he's got paper. He's at least got paper.
Yeah,
but
I did.
I knew you. Yeah, I knew it'd be fine no matter what you pulled out on the other end. So
I did.
Yeah,
I did, and it was great. I feel like maybe 10% of the shows, probably less, I've used props in any capacity. And like I do, it's so fun. I mean, it's improv. We can do whatever
exactly.
we want. We're making up, we're making Val nodding vigorously in agreement. We're making up the rules as we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think about that from the context of like doing comedy sports online.
Yeah.
Because like I literally have boxes full of hats and props and all kinds of crap that's like just off camera here that I would literally just put on the floor next to me so that I could pull from it for our virtual shows, because that's something you can't really do for in person, and you can have so much fun with that. And yeah, like I was thinking about when you said, Justin, like it doesn't matter what Trent pulls out, like even if it's not a piece of paper, right? If anything, if he had pulled some random other thing out, it would have been even funnier, right? And like we do that all the time. Like there's a game called Gramophone where like you're like, give me the phone, and then that person like hands you the phone, and then you grab the phone. They can hand you like a can of drink, and then you pull out like I don't know, I don't have anything else fun here, but you get what I'm saying, like you get whatever, and like that's part of the
whatever
fun.
it is. Yeah.
And so yeah, like I like the idea of kind of like using the medium that you're in rather than like seeing its limitations, seeing like its possibilities. They're different than in-person improv, and obviously there are things you can do in in-person improv that you cannot do online, but there are also things you can do online that you can't do in person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree. Something Val said. Oh, that's right. I remembered. I got it back. Made Up Theater, where Justin and I were trained, was also a big. The Made Up Theater owners came from comedy sports and started their own theater.
Yes.
and they ended up being removed from comedy sports due to their love of long form improv. So while they did a bunch of long form at the theater, they also did a ton of short form. And I feel like it's so interesting. I'm sure this is a conversation we've had in a similar capacity on the show before, but I just think it's so interesting that in short form, everyone is like, yeah, use props, do what, like, dress up, wear costumes for these games and whatever. And like, it's that is somehow frowned upon in long form. And it's like, I know the two art forms are different, but it's like, you know, it's baseball and softball. It's like, these are the same sports with different, you know, tools basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, why can't we, I shouldn't be afraid to use a prop in this long form scene that Justin and I are doing. And Justin is someone who wasn't, and I'm someone who's not. So it felt, you know, good to, like, you know, we've said it before, but you learn the rules so you can break the rules. And it's also improv, you know, we're making it up as we go. Like, I just hate I hate the stigma of like short form is lesser, because it's so cool to watch people do really good object work. It's great.
100%.
Of course.
And to like keep that all in their minds, and totally.
Yeah. But it's also really funny when someone, I'm just remembering a show that I did at IO with my Herald team, and Carl Bradley, who will be a future guest on this show, found a whiteboard backstage and brought it on stage, and then we used that in the show. It's like, and that was incredible. That was one of the best shows Slice ever did before the pandemic, and pre-pandemic, or post-pandemic. It was one of the best shows Slice did ever, is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of it was because we were riding this momentum of this absolute psycho move from Carl to bring a prop on stage, but none of us were like, whoa, this is long form improv, sir. We cannot have any props. We can do some object work. Instead, all of us were like, yeah, baby, this is exactly what we're doing. We're leaning into this, and we were like a rocket from there.
Exactly.
So I just, you know, I wish there was more, as Val and Justin are two people who have done short form. I know Val still loves short form. I still love short form. Justin, I don't know how you feel, so I won't speak for you, but
give me some short
still love it.
Yeah, come on. And right, like they both got their place, right? Like, I'm probably not going to be doing short form all the time forever, right? You know, the balance and all that good stuff. But yeah, no, still love me some short form.
Yeah, they're both. Oh, go ahead, Val.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the way I think about it is like there's so much like sort of snobbery around like long form, and like I think of it as like the way people used to think about television versus movies, right? They used to, television was like a low art, like compared to film, right? When it first kind of came about. But now, like, look at how far television has come. It's in a lot of ways exceeded film. And like, that's because people were willing, despite this sort of stigma around television, to explore its possibilities, and then take what works in film, bring that to, you know, television, and kind of create some kind of like hybrid. And now we've got like some of the best stuff that I've ever seen in my life in any medium on television, right? And it's such like a thing where, again, like, sort of why only look for limitations or like things that make it less than, rather than like look at how you can like use this to grow. Like, I think a lot about how, like, once I started doing short form more, I became a better long form improviser, because when I first started doing long form, because I did long form first, which I think is like less common, I guess, if you're going to do both. But like, I would get so in my head about like, oh God, the scene has to go on for so long, and I like don't like what I committed to, and like all this stuff's going on in my brain. In short form, you don't have time for that crap. You go out, you commit to something, and you know it's going to be over in 2 minutes. And I try to take that mentality into any long form scene that I do, because even if it goes for 15 minutes, if I come in with the attitude of like, I'm committed, I don't care what happens, it's going to go better no matter what. Like, people, like, I don't understand snobbery in general. I have like so much confusion around people just wanting to like eliminate things from the possibilities of what they use as entertainment or do or whatever. But like, it's such like a great like way to make yourself better, way to have fun. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
No, I totally agree. It's like there's obviously both short form and long form have its positives and its negatives, you know?
Totally.
But at the core of both things, the tenets of both are the same, you know? It's all improv. It's short form improv, it's long form improv, but at the end of the day, both things are improv. So it's like, why are you a civil war is unnecessary here. TVs and movies are all the same at this point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like 5 people who get paid to do improv, and pretty much all of them do short form improv.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're not on Whose Line, then you're not making any money from doing improv.
Exactly.
And I got news for you. There's way more people who aren't on Whose Line than there are. And none of us fall into the are on Whose Line category, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry to tell you all. None of us
exactly.
are on Whose Line.
Just realizing now for the first time, oh, I thought I was on Whose Line the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're approaching the top of the hour here, and I know Justin has a show that he's got to get to here live in LA. Speaking of shows, and speaking of Justin, Justin hosts a show here in Los Angeles, California, at the Elysian Theater called Tune Up. It is it's a show. It's like I was gonna say open mic, but that's not technically right. It's like a work it out show. Justin, you're here. You tell the people what it's about.
No, work it out show's great. I call it an open submission variety show.
Yes.
If you're in the LA area, we're the last Monday of the month at 6 p.m. So it was this past Monday. As of day of recording. But you can go on follow at Tune Up Show on Instagram and just links in the bio. It's a Google form. You fill that out, and I will try and fit as many people into my hour as I can. You know, the earlier you sign up in the month, the better. And I want to try and get as many different, acts, voices, people on stage as I can.
Val, if you haven't already, she already did. Val, on top of it, as always, Val put the link if you are watching this live on Twitch and you're a performer. And like Justin said, it's a variety show. It's anything. So, of course you can do stand-up, but you can also do improv. You can do sketch. You can do music. I saw people did music on Monday.
Yeah, we did freestyle rap on Monday.
It can be anything.
Comedy songs. So
anything anything you're trying to work out. Sign up for Tune Up. If you are listening to this via podcast, I will put the link to sign up in there also. Check out Tune Up at the Elysian. It's the last Monday of the month at 6 p.m. every month. It's a great show. And it just started. It's fresh. So it's always cool to be in on the ground floor of something new and exciting. And baby, the Elysian, that's the hotness in LA right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, come by the Elysian. I also work there. And I'm a house manager, and I'm going to do tech tonight.
Yeah.
So
if you're watching live on Twitch tonight, run over to the open mic at the Elysian at 9 p.m. and you can watch Justin do tech.
I'll give you the light at 2 minutes.
Beautiful. We love it. Also, speaking of LA live shows, if you are listening to this on a podcast, if you're listening to it Wednesday morning, then maybe you can sneak out there. But otherwise, you missed it. But if you're watching live right now, Val, go ahead and throw that link in the chat. Cam and Trent's Family Reunion is coming back on Wednesday, August 3rd. 9 p.m. show at the Yard Theater. Tickets are only $10 if you buy them online. We've got a great lineup there. We have stand-up from Robbie Hoffman. We have characters from Vinnie Thomas and Alan Giles. And we have Emma Pope doing some improv and some other special improv surprises. So if you're in the LA area and want to check that out, come watch a live show with me and former guest of the show, Cam Hurt. It should be a lot of fun. LA's a lot of fun. Justin, you're a lot of fun. Improv's a lot of fun. I think I hit everything. Val, anything else?
You did it all.
Great. Val, we love you. Justin, we love you. Everybody who tuned in live, we love you. Everybody who's listening later on a podcast, Nia, thank you for the suggestion. We love you also. Also, Nia, thank you for the theme song. We love you also. But you gotta remember, I'm begging everybody, above all else, What do we love the most? What do I love the most? Baby, I love
Wow.